So I just saw Liam Neeson in a movie called Honest Thief, and I was like, well, I guess that's my Liam Neeson fix for the year, or for the foreseeable future. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, the Marksman's coming out, and I'm like, how in the world does he just crank these things out? And then I remember, oh right, God never sleeps. Alright guys, gals, and everything in between, I'm here today to review for you The Marksman. So The Marksman is a action thriller film. It is the best description, mixed with a road trip movie, actually. Starring Liam Neeson, God in human form. Liam Neeson saves a young child at the border from the cartel on his ranch property where he lives in Arizona. And he decides that he's going to fulfill a sort of promise that he made to the boy's mother and said that, I'm going to get this boy to his family in Chicago. And now we have our road trip movie. Yeah, guys, gals, and everything in between, I honestly didn't expect anything from the film, technically, but I really didn't expect a road trip movie. Now, it is all in all its Neeson-y glory. It's got some action scenes in it which are really well done. The film as a whole is about a road trip movie and the bonding between Liam Neeson and this child. They have really, really good chemistry, actually, and Liam Neeson's performance was a little bit different than his usual roles because he always kind of plays that ultimate badass kind of thing, but he played a much more toned-back human version of his badass self, if that makes sense. He reminded me a lot of my grandpa in this movie, in many regards. Just the way he carried himself, his mannerisms, his humbleness and things like that. I immediately connected to Liam Neeson's character because I just sat there and was like, hey, that's totally my grandpa right there. I don't know why I turned as though I was talking to someone in the audience because I was by myself, but I digress. The film has that immediate connecting with the main character, and that is really cool and really well done. And Liam Neeson, his character is really damaged in the film as well, as he always seems to play these days, but it works really well for him, and if you understand Liam Neeson's backstory and the tragedies that he's gone through, it works perfectly for his character, and you automatically connect to that too. So it's got a lot going for it. Now, the action, when it happens, is good, but this movie isn't really an action movie. It's more about a man coming to peace with his demons and his sadness by discovering what it means to live again through somebody else. It's a very touching story. It's a very dramatically heavy story. There are some scenes that are really heavy and carry a lot of weight. I will say, though, there is one scene, and I won't spoil it, but it involves the Jackson character, and it's absolute utter garbage, and it shouldn't be in the film. I think it's unnecessary because it's just to add dark tonality, and I just felt like it was so unnecessary that it was like, wow, really, you guys went there to try and say, oh, look at how hardcore he's having to go down this rabbit hole. It didn't feel necessary to me, and honestly, a quick rewrite would have fixed it. So it didn't really detract much from the film. It was just for that, like, one scene, and, like, the scene after, I'm like, you really went there? You really went there. Okay. Like I said, everybody, the rest of the film as a whole is very solid. There's not much else to say about it. It is a very straightforward film. Liam Neeson and this boy have to get from Arizona to Chicago. And then there's some action beats in between there. They go to Oklahoma. I just feel the need to bring that up, you know, because Oklahoma. It's just a simple story, and, you know, it pays off. It is a dramatically heavy film. Is this a Liam Neeson, like, action tough guy vehicle that I am going to be re-watching over and over and over and over again? No. But it is a film in Liam Neeson's repertoire that I definitely enjoy. I would actually, it's not as good as The Grey, but it's in that same ballpark of, like, not quite action, but really dramatically heavy. It's just like a notch or two beneath the gray. I enjoyed it. I will say that that The Marksman is absolutely worth watching, and it is big screen worthy. All right, guys, gals, and everything in between. Did you see The Marksman? How would you rank it amongst Liam Neeson's films, especially his recent, like, more actiony films, is what I mean? Because obviously, you know, you're not going to top Michael Collins or, you know, Schindler's List. But you know what I mean, guys. Alright, don't forget to like and subscribe, hit that bell notification. It's what the hip kids are doing. I got plenty more videos coming to you. Love you guys.